everyone, this is Dr. Sarala. Welcome to Millet Magic.
We have all been there. Those lazy mornings when you want to just make a quick and hassle-free breakfast with minimal effort. Today's recipe is just what you need on those laid-back days to ensure you don't compromise on your health by resorting to store-bought maida breads or ready-to-eat packed stuff. This easy and quick recipe of Gojju from Karnataka is a tasty version of poha with a tangy twist. Sounds interesting, right? Let's quickly see how to make it.
To make the Gojju, you will require 1 cup of millet flakes. Here I am using barnyard millet flakes, but you can use the flakes of any of the 5 positive millets.
In the process of making millet flakes or poha, they are already pre-soaked, steamed and then pressed. What this means is, unlike all the other forms of millet like rice or flour or rava, which have to be soaked before cooking, millet flakes being pre-soaked are ready to be used anytime. So it becomes convenient to carry millet poha or flakes when we travel.
You will also need a ball of tamarind, which is approximately the size of a lemon, 6 to 8 curry leaves, 3 green chilies finely chopped, a fistful of coriander finely chopped, half a cup of grated coconut, 2 teaspoons of sambar powder. The recipe to making traditional sambar powder is already up on Millet Magic Masala box. Do check it out.
You can find the link to this recipe in the description box below.
2 teaspoons of palm jaggery powder and salt to taste.
Please note, I am using unrefined sea salt here. This means that the salt is sourced from the sea but has not been bleached and no chemicals have been added to make it free flowing.
And for the tempering you will require 1 teaspoon of urad dal, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of chana dal, half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, a fistful of groundnuts and a pinch of hing. And finally, to add extra flavor to the Gojju, we will be topping it with a powder made using half a teaspoon of jeera, 2 teaspoons of sesame seeds and half a teaspoon of peppercorns. The first step is to soak the tamarind in about 1/4 cup of water for 10 to 15 minutes so that it becomes soft. After 15 minutes, using your fingers, squeeze out all the juice from the tamarind and discard the pulp. Now into this tamarind paste goes 2 teaspoons of sambar powder, 2 teaspoons of jaggery powder, then add salt to taste and 1/4 cup of water. Mix everything together to get a thick paste. Moving on to the flakes. Gently wash the flakes once by running water through them when in a strainer. Do not soak the flakes in water directly. They will become too mushy to use. After draining out all the water, add the washed flakes into the prepared paste of tamarind, sambar powder, jaggery and salt. Gently mix and set aside for 10 minutes so that the flakes absorb all the flavors. Meanwhile, in a thick bottomed kadai, prepare the tempering. Heat about 4 tablespoons of ghani oil. Once the oil is hot, add in half a teaspoon of mustard seeds. Then add in a fistful of groundnut seeds and saute for half a minute. Next to go in is a teaspoon of urud dal and a teaspoon of chana dal. Make sure that you turn down the flame to sim so as to not burn the tempering. Saute for another half minute until the dals turn golden in color. Next to go in is the hing powder. Then add in the finely chopped green chilies and the curry leaves. The last ingredients to go into the tempering are half cup of grated coconut and half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Mix everything well together. Now into the tempering, add in the flakes which would have soaked in all the paste, making sure that the flame is still on sim. Mix everything together and cook for 3 to 4 minutes. Do not cover with a lid as this would make the steam to get trapped and the flakes to absorb too much moisture and make it mushy. To add an extra punch of flavor to the dish, in a separate iron kadai, roast 2 teaspoons of sesame seeds until they pop. Set the sesame seeds aside to cool while you roast half a teaspoon of jeera in the same kadai. Also roast the peppercorns with a drop of oil. Then using a mortar and pestle, grind the jeera and the peppercorns into a fine powder. Next add in the roasted sesame seeds as well and powder. Using sesame seeds here not just adds taste to the dish but also nutritional value. Sesame seeds are rich in calcium and this is one nice way of incorporating sesame seeds into our cooking. Top the Avalaki with 2 teaspoons of this ground powder and with chopped fresh coriander. And it's that simple. Avalaki is ready to be served. With every spoonful of this poha, you will feel the tanginess of the tamarind, a hint of sweetness from the jaggery, the spice from the chilies and the sambar powder, and the warmth from the pepper in your mouth. The dals and the peanuts from the tempering provide a crunch between the soft poha, ensuring that you have the complete medley in every mouthful. It's the ideal dish for the days you're feeling too lazy to cook something elaborate or when you want to eat something light. We'll be back soon with another interesting and delicious recipe from Karnataka. Until then, happy cooking!